Alright, it's that time once again, boys and girls. Also, I'm probably going to use some foul language a bit in this one. I'm not necessarily trying to be mean, I'm trying to be real, and expressing exactly what I think about the whole situation. Which reminds me, I had a buddy, a black guy, fond of stupid short phrases, but one I agreed with was, keep it real or keep it quiet. Anyway, here's my explanation. And at the end I'll have more comments, I believe. And if you don't want to hear them, well, then fucking watch the video and don't listen. I'm loading groceries in the vehicle at Walmart. I see a male walking towards me. I don't think much of it until I notice his face. He's mean mugging. You know, the face, the one that says, I'm really wanting to say or do something absolutely fucking stupid because I'm offended by your freedoms or something you're doing that I don't like, and my feelings are the guidelines by which your rights exist. Yeah, that kind of face. Keep in mind, at the time, I didn't know where he was parked, if he was parked beside me, if he was going to his car, if he was coming to engage me. So I'm going to keep an eye on him when you couple all of that with his face. So he's still walking towards me. He's still got that face indicating that he is already in a bad mood or wants to instigate or express his dislike of something that he feels he should be able to control me or someone else about. As soon as I saw his face, I already expected stupid. So as he approaches, I decided to move my arm up, placing my elbow resting on top of my holster. Not my hand, my elbow. For the record, it's kind of instinctual for me to do that. I do it for several reasons having to do with firearm retention and location awareness. Anyway, his face and glare told me to keep an eye on him. Listen to your instincts, people. You may not be able to explain it to others what you were feeling at that point, but it might save you at some point. Moving on, as he walks by me, he is continuing his glare, so I refuse to take my eyes off of someone acting like that. Then, in a shitty tone, with his I don't like you doing things I don't like attitude, he asks, are you okay? Now I know to some of you, his question actually sounds like concern. But trust me when I say it was most certainly sarcasm wrapped in asshole, with a tall glass of disapproval. So I responded in the same cordial manner. I said, are you? He then made some other comments I couldn't really hear, and he got into his car. So I felt like he must really want to talk to me, and I should let him know I couldn't hear him, and give him the opportunity to be heard. And of course, to make his own video. Being honest here, at one point I thought to myself, really? Another fucking moron who just wants to cause an issue? And so I made a statement such as, get in your car and go, or words to that effect. However, he then began to drive away, all the while still running his mouth, excuse me. I'll be honest here. At this point, I was a little curious to know what he was saying, as well as a little annoyed. I eventually walked closer to his vehicle, letting him know I couldn't hear him, and then he made a few comments. First off, he accused me of being about to draw my gun on him, or whatever idiotic words he chose, to which I responded letting him know that that's not even close to the truth, and indicating in a polite way that he's a moronic liar. He then accused me of having, 15 different weapons on my belt, I believe the words he used, or something like that, which also means he can't count, nor identify a weapon and differentiate it between a flashlight and extra magazines. I believe it was about this point that he decides to demand to know why I'm carrying any of the things I'm carrying on my belt, because that's his business, right? I owe him an answer, right? Well, let's be honest here. I honestly had had my fill of him and his ignorance and his mouth and his stupid-looking wannabe mean face.
Let me see your real war face. Ah! You don't scare me. Work on it.
As well as his presence in all senses of the word. So maybe I decided to let him know what I thought about both his question and basically him in general, and let my mouth have a chance to express such. Oh, and he pulls out the classic, get out of my face, while I'm standing several feet away from the passenger side of his vehicle, and he is sitting in the driver's seat of the vehicle. The only thing that would have made his comment better, if he had added in the other classic, which is walking up to my phone camera and putting his face in it and then saying, I don't want to be recorded. If you made it this far, here's the vid. And I'll add my closing comments after, if you care to listen, and whether you do or not. I edited out as much dead space as possible to save time. And I was more focused on him than where I was aiming the camera, as you'll notice. Here we go.
Get off of it.
Are you?
No.
What's that? Just get in your car and go, dude. I can't hear you.
I'm walking in my car and you're jumping around like you're going to pull the trigger on me.
That's not even close to what happened. That's none of your fucking business. How's that? Here's my closing thoughts, and I'll try to be polite. This guy had an issue from the time he saw what he didn't like on my belt. I didn't initiate interaction with him. I didn't initiate conversation with him. I try to keep to myself for the most part. You know, that kind of live and let live mentality for the most part. It keeps me from dealing with idiots as often. And I only even consider dealing with most other people when it is either requested by them or it becomes necessary because their bullshit spills over into affecting my life in some way. Here's a pro tip. If you don't like something someone's frickin' wearing or saying, then move the fuck on and you can decide not to wear or say what you didn't like. That's where your rights end. Well before telling me or someone else what they can or can't wear or say or think, which is where it's going to head eventually. This guy apparently thinks that everyone else owes him an answer, and he is the supreme ruler. I'm not a public servant nor a government employee. If you want answers, buy a fucking encyclopedia. If you don't want to be a part of the story and my video, then mind your own fucking business. Otherwise, don't cry victim when you get a response you didn't expect or like. And here's my public service announcement ending. Before you come whining to me about my response to his fucking stupidity, maybe you should go address his false beliefs that his feelings trump mine or anyone else's rights, and his mean face scares everyone. For fuck's sakes, I've been more intimidated by an 8-year-old girl glaring at me. Maybe you should go whine to him about his stupidity and seeing someone with a gun that he already doesn't like them having, then running his mouth and making his be afraid face, then further lying that someone was about to draw a gun on him, all the while, like a fucking idiot, he makes comments in an attempt to antagonize the same person he claims was about to pull a gun on him. That is grade A+, one brain-celled stupidity. Then you should whine to him about his false belief that he has any right to demand answers from me or anyone else. Then feel free to ask him what the fuck he has done in life that makes him think everyone else is answerable to him in any goddamn way and makes him think he has a right to know any fucking thing I'm doing. As long as what I'm doing is legal and my right and it's not affecting you other than hurting your feelings, then you can go mind your own fucking business. Let me help you out with the answer. You have no right. You can advise him of that for me. That I owe him jack shit in the way of answers about any fucking thing I do, anywhere I go, any frickin' right I choose to exercise, any shirt I wear, any time I scratch my fucking nuts, and how I wipe my ass from the left to the right. If he wants to be a sheep, that's his problem, not mine. I don't pretend to be anything special, but you are barking up the wrong tree. If you or he or anyone else thinks that other people should surrender their rights or feel compelled to be answerable to them because of your feelings and you're offended about something, I have a right to do whether he likes or dislikes. He just needs to go mind his own fucking business. For what it's worth, whether you want to hear it or not, I came up with one motto a long time ago, and I will let many things go and walk away from most worthless people or worthless stupid fucking arguments that aren't worth having or dumb shit. But especially when it comes to mine and other people's constitutionally enumerated rights, regardless of the race, religion, or anything else, my motto is, quote, I'm motivated, dedicated, and obligated. I won't be intimidated, subjugated, nor dominated without the fight of your fucking life. End quote. I don't expect to always win, but I'll be damned if I lose because I refuse to stand and fight for mine and other people's rights. My rights aren't subject to your feelings, or whether you agree with or like them. Too many people have sacrificed too much over the years, so we have them, for me to just hand them off and give them away to people like you. And someone must need to let you know no one gives a fuck if you like their rights, least of all me. So if you have this guy's mentality, I'll just let the famous Henderson Street Preacher in another one of my videos say it best.
I'm tired of people like you, you know that.
And to all my crybaby sheep whiners and morons out there, thumbs down that shit. Just make sure you remember I truly don't give an elephant's sperm load about your whining opinions, your thumbs down, nor your feelings. Moving on.
That's none of your fucking business. How's that?